Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Odds, and we are going to be talking about episode 1 of Moon Knight. So, the first episode is finally here. We have some new Marvel content. We didn't really have to wait that long for it, but we are back on Disney Plus for some new Marvel stuff. So, if you are new here today, I will be breaking down Moon Knight, the entire season. So, be sure to stay tuned for that. If you're new here today, I'd love for you to subscribe. I do 2 videos a week, Marvel, Star Wars, DC, vlogs, theme park content, beauty. There's something on this channel for everyone, so be sure to subscribe. And if you like this video while you're watching, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. You know, it helps me in that YouTube algorithm, which is a disaster. If you're new to one of my videos like this, I give a breakdown of the episode first, then I give some thoughts and questions at the end moving forward. So that is how we're gonna rock and roll today. I am going to start with my breakdown. We start with the opening shot of Arthur Harrow. Say that 10 times fast. He drinks some water and then breaks the glass, puts glass in his shoe. So you know off the bat, this man is crazy. He is not great. He's not going great. You know, he's like this zealot villain character pretty much right off the bat. There's no like, oh, it was secretly Agatha all along. No, we know he's the bad guy from the start. Bless his heart, Oscar Isaac's accent for Steven is really something. I know it's to differentiate the two alters, but oof, this is really something. I can't wait for him to get rid of it. Also, fun fact, he is a vegan. At least Stephen Grant is a vegan. We get that kind of thrown out there. I thought it was just something worth noting. So Stephen Grant works in the gift shop of the Egyptian exhibit in what appears to be the British Museum, although was not filmed at the British Museum, but it's most likely the British Museum in London. And yeah, he knows a lot of stuff about Egypt for multiple reasons. This is going to call back to Moon Knight and Konju when we get there, but also he spends all of his nights awake reading, and he tends to read up on the Egyptian history and lore. His first big, like, what happened moment is he wakes up in Leipzig in the middle of a field and starts getting shot at. We learn because, well, we're led to learn that Mark Spector steals this scarab from Arthur Harrow, and we don't know exactly why as of yet, although we know Arthur Harrow's a bad guy, so we should be stealing from the bad people. But he wakes up in the field with a broken jaw, and that's when we get our first sight at Konju. Sorry guys, my camera is a mess with this microphone, so I'm trying my best to make sure I'm not super crooked, but also so that I'm like in frame and looking fine. So yeah, this is where we're at. I don't even remember where I was. I mentioned Konju. Okay. So we found out Harrow is working on behalf of the Egyptian god Amit. Amit is this like partial crocodile deity who judges and likes to base on good and evil and sends evil down to the wrath of the underworld and the good to the good side of the underworld. So he works on behalf of Amit, or so he says he does. He has these powers that are able to judge, so he has partial powers of Amit. in this iteration of Moon Knight. Now, in the comics, he's really like a one-off character, so they're really taking a lot of liberty with his character here. Steven goes in and out of consciousness when Mark takes over. I really liked this kind of depiction of how exactly the different alters work, especially when Mark Spector is the one who's taking over, Moon Knight's taking over. So really interested to see how they do that moving forward. I thought they did that very well. I'm not commenting necessarily on the depiction of dissociative identity disorder because I'm not an expert, so I can't really talk to say if that was well depicted or not. I don't think it was really... there were definitely moments where it shone through, but again, I'm not an expert on it. Like, that's not my mental health wheelhouse. So I can break down kind of like good representation for other mental illnesses, but not necessarily that one. Throughout this entire episode, both Mark and Konju speak to Steven. So if you don't know, Konju is a moon deity. He's an Egyptian moon deity who gives his powers to Moon Knight, gives part of his powers to Moon Knight. So that's why we have Konju speaking to him very frequently. Very sad. He misses his date because he is 2 days behind. So he thinks it's Friday, but it's actually Sunday, so that's how we know the stuff that happened in Leipzig was real. Although the audience knew that, I think. When Kevin Feige introduced this show, he said that there was going to be a big, are you going to be able to tell if he's just mentally ill or if he is really dealing with these things? And I think it's pretty obvious that he's really dealing with these things. But for the character himself, he just doesn't know what's going on. He then finds the Motorola flip phone stashed away and sees a bunch of missed calls from Layla. Layla then calls again and is wondering where Mark is. She hasn't seen him for months. Now, I'm pretty sure in this, him and Layla are supposed to be married. So that's going to be fun to explain to your wife there, Mark. But he doesn't really know what's going on. We get that from the trailer. Why are you calling me Mark? Sorry, I can't with this accent. It's something else. Steven is then confronted by Harrow in the museum, where then he gets attacked by a beast-like creature. At first I thought this was Amit, but I really seriously doubt it. So it's just going to be some sort of mummified creature. And then Steven agrees with Mark to let him take over, and we get the Moon Knight transformation that we got from the... What was that? The first teaser trailer that we saw. It was on like a Monday night football game. We get that first look. So this is the only shot of Moon Knight we do get, which it's fine. It's a fine first episode reveal. I'm excited to see more of actual Moon Knight, fighting, but we'll see moving forward. My overall thoughts on this episode is that accent has got to go. I hope we see more of Mark taking over, because this is just, the accent is just, to me, is just atrocious, and I just can't deal with it. I don't even know if it's necessarily bad, but it's just so jarring that, yeah, it's rough. I understand why Americans don't play British people more often. A lot of the shots from the trailer are in this episode, so that means moving forward we're going to see a lot more new stuff, which is going to be really exciting. I think it's really good to when you see new stuff versus stuff that you've already seen in the trailer, because it's a little fun surprises, like little treats for yourself. So some questions that we have to answer moving forward in the series is, how did Harrow get his powers? Now, I'm sure we're going to go into the origin story of Harrow. We're going to go into the origin story of Moon Knight to see what exactly happened. I think there's some shots from the trailer that would imply both of those cases. Really interested to see how that came about, how these two not Egyptian men got Egyptian deity powers. Really interested to see that much. And the other question that I have is, will Jake Lockley appear? Now, he would have kind of been perfect for the altar that they focused on, but I understand them wanting to go with Stephen Grant, although they changed Stephen Grant entirely to be this kind of bumbling, bumbling idiot, as Konju refers to him as, and this like poor, works in a gift shop sort of character. I think they could have used Jake Lockley, one of his other alters, for this. So yeah, I don't know. I hope he will appear. I would be interested to see more alters for this character show up. But that's my overall thoughts on this first episode. I thought it was a little slow, but I am looking forward to other episodes. I think it's probably going to be like Boba Fett, where the first few episodes are pretty slow. I think this was definitely a better premiere than the Book of Boba Fett, in terms of like overall content. So I have faith in this show. I'm not going to count it out just yet, just because the first episode was a little slow for my liking, and for that accent. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you thought of the episode down below. Are you super in for Moon Knight, or are you kind of hesitant, like, I don't know about this? Let me know those thoughts down below. As always, I've been Odds. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on Friday with a new video. Bye!